Okay, I just had a really futuristic experience. I've been using these Meta Ray-Ban glasses for a while, and this is not a sponsored video. And I was doing an interview with a candidate, and I used the Meta Ray-Bans as a way to do hands-free. It's got speakers in it, right? And people around you can't actually hear it well, so it works pretty well. So I use it as a headphones or AirPods replacement. But that's not the crazy part. The candidate on the call was like, "What does your office look like?" And I was talking to him on WhatsApp. So I said, "Well, let me show you what I can see." And I turned on the WhatsApp video call. You can do that with these glasses. What happens is that the Ray-Bans can output its video stream with this camera right here straight to whoever's on the other side. So that person could see exactly what I saw. I showed him around the entire office. We even did a whiteboarding session because he could see my hand movements. You know that feeling when your TV isn't turning on at home and you need some help and you can video call a friend? Well, it's that, but hands-free. And it's a phenomenal experience. Like, a lot of people think the value of these glasses is the AI. And it does have potential for that, of course. But the AI right now is basically rubbish. You know, I was thinking about what kind of video I should make on this, right? Do I want to do just a product review and be yet another, influencer, creator, tech type person? But, that's not who I am. I wanted to think deeper. I want to think about the implications of technology like this, right? And what's the opportunity for us as entrepreneurs or creators? What can we do with this stuff? The thing that I'm most excited about is I think we're going to see a new kind of social interaction with this, a new kind of social network. Imagine being able to see through someone else's eyes live. Maybe they're live streaming their daily life from a monastery in Tibet or a car show in Los Angeles. See, Mark Zuckerberg is really underrated here. The first form of social interaction was posts, right? Regular posts, text posts, not real time. Let's say if you're a monk could post about what he felt or saw today. Then it was images. A monk could share one photo of his ashram. Then it was video on YouTube. He could do a 5-minute video of his life in the ashram. Then it was live streaming with a static camera. You could show people going in and out of the ashram, but it was a camera kept in one place, right? And that wasn't very interesting. Then it was live streaming with a moving mobile camera. I can take the camera, move around, show my life. But the thing about mobile cameras and mobile shooting content is it's really impersonal. Everyone around you is on guard. It's not a real day in the life of. And most people hold their phones at their waist or their chest. There's too much shake and chaos. With the Ray-Bans, it's through someone else's eyes. The shake has disappeared. Even when people around me knew that they were being recorded, I told them, "Hey, I'm recording something." They're more normal. When you're not holding a phone, people are more normal. Talking with a phone pointed at you feels like a weapon, right? Most of us freeze and don't say much. But with the Ray-Bans, people are comfortable. They're not looking at the phone or the camera, they're looking at your eyes. This form factor is going to lead to a new kind of social network where you can teleport away from your life to live through the life of maybe a doctor doing his daily routine or a mountain climber climbing a mountain. You can see their entire day. You can see their entire process. Since you're seeing through their eyes, you get to feel their emotions too. And this is the future of social media. And it's going to be better than what we have today for our mental health.
Glasses are going to be an important part of building the next computing platform and unlocking a whole new set of experiences for people. Ray-Bans are an important step towards a future when phones are no longer a central part of our lives, and you won't have to choose between interacting with the world around you.
People today on the internet, it's gotten really toxic. You all know that. They have zero forgiveness for other people on social media. I'll tell you why. Because while our own lives are flawed and most of our day is normal, I look at someone else, one good picture or one video or somebody else on the cover of some magazine and think their lives are awesome all the time. The glasses and live streaming changed this. You can now see that guy who constantly flashes his crazy cars and wealth. You can see that he actually has a pretty normal life otherwise. He makes the same silly mistakes as you and me. He has moments of sitting on his bed doing nothing. His girlfriend dumps him too. That doctor who has that busy life, he takes a smoke break. He's got his own flaws. That fashion influencer, well, you see the anxieties and issues she goes through live. It creates a new kind of social media where we see other people's flaws and quiet moments instead of just their glory moments. Because of the authenticity of this, it makes people more relatable. And it also helps you learn so much. If you saw through my eyes every day, you'd learn a lot about content and technology. That's what I focus on a daily basis, right? You'd see the experiments we do every day. You'd see how I write scripts. You'd also see my flaws. More importantly, you'd gain a lot more empathy for me than just seeing my highlight moments. Now, before we move on with the rest of the video, I want to take a moment to thank today's partner, Polaris School of Technology. Now, last week, the founders of Polaris called me, and I've known them for a very long time because they run another business called Class Plus, which is massive. They hire a lot of engineers and actually have a pure software product that's been at scale for quite a while. In our conversation, they brought up an idea they had envisioned a while back where they were like, why don't we start a school this time? They wanted to move into the offline space and rethink the traditional school experience. They don't want it to be just another boot camp. And by now, you guys know I've always believed that college needs to be reinvented. Currently, except for the top ones like IITs, most of them are just real estate firms trying to charge rent. So at Polaris, students jump into coding right from the start and begin internships in their second year. The students are also made to code for 5,000 hours in 4 years. Now, even the curriculum at Polaris is created and taught by techies who work in the tech industry and know exactly what skills are needed and relevant in today's and the future job market. Also, what makes Polaris unique is their focus on creating an offline network for students. Plus, being located in Bangalore is just the cherry on top, setting them apart from other colleges that are isolated from the startup and tech community. So definitely go check them out from the link in my description. Now back to the video. But still, this is the best device I've tried in the last 3-4 years. The main reason? Because somehow I use it nearly every day. I feel that pull. I miss it when I don't have it. All the behaviors I exhibit with my phone. See, we're now starting to have an epidemic of products that look cool and are marketed really well that people just stop using after using it once or twice. Like the Vision Pro or the Rabbit R1. They feel really cool before buying and then straight up boring after you use them. I'm very used to this effect with virtual reality. We've owned most VR devices over the last 7 or 8 years. You use it once or twice, have some fun, and maybe a game or a 360 video, then it rots on your shelf. Apple Vision Pros are going half price on eBay now. We even mentioned this in our video on the Vision Pro, right? We don't know if people are going to use it every day, but the Ray-Bans are different. This thing is just way too convenient. It doesn't feel painful carrying it on or putting it on, and the killer use case is not being in some 3D world. It's just the same old listening to music and taking pictures and videos. But it has massive advantages over both traditional AirPods and earphones and over your phone camera. It's just way too convenient. Here, I clicked a picture. Whereas the fumbling, entering the passcode, opening your camera app, if I'd done it with my phone, it would be such a painful process. In fact, the Meta Ray-Bans are so convenient, we were able to record an entire accident happening live, where a truck kind of scraped a car. One tap. And I've been doing a lot of asynchronous whiteboarding sessions with my team too, so there's also a business use case, which means I record something on the whiteboard and just share it on WhatsApp. Earlier, I used to use a tool like Loom to record my screen. Even if I'm working on my screen, I don't need that anymore. I can record my screen and keyboard while doing whatever I'm doing and also narrate and send it on WhatsApp immediately. It's too good for business. It's just too convenient. Sometimes, because I have to write scripts for content, I just solo record. I go to my mirror and I just record and then I put it into a transcribe app later and edit it later. It's great if you're a content creator too. And the audio part is convenient too. Like I hate fumbling with the AirPods. Like headphones are too clunky. I always lose my AirPods. The pads start chipping with the headphones. There's also nowhere to keep them, right? Like with headphones, I always hang them around my neck and that feels a little bit annoying. Whereas the Meta Ray-Bans on the other hand look normal. They don't feel heavy on your face and the Bluetooth is flawless. And because they don't have a screen and offload the heavy stuff to your phone, good product decision, the battery life is decent. This is where the humane pin failed, right? By not leveraging your phone. It became heavy, expensive, and had a low battery life by trying to do everything. The Meta Ray-Bans are more like an extension of your phone. And I need to repeat again here that this is not a sponsored video. This is my experience with this thing. And I was pretty impressed. That's why I said it's important to make this video. With reasonable usage, this thing lasted me about 6 to 7 hours. And with the case, you can go about 36 hours on a single charge. I got the one with transition lenses, which have this interesting lens technology not made by Meta, where if I go into the sun, because of the UV of the sun, they turn from clear glasses to shades. This one cost me about $379, which is about 31,000-ish rupees. And the cheaper non-transition one cost about $299 or 24,000 rupees. They're sold out in most stores in America, and I had to try like 5 to 6 stores across cities there, and only finally found one in New York. Even this one wasn't my size, but I bought it anyway. Now here's where the crazy part is. I know a lot of people have been looking for a way to get off their phone, and this is a little bit of a glimpse of that. Like reduce phone dependence. The Meta Ray-Bans don't fully solve that since they're an extension of your phone. But I did see one crazy guy on Reddit manage to do it with an Apple Watch and the Ray-Bans. Using number share, his iPhone stays plugged in at home and he now works purely off the Apple Watch, and this. He even says my MacBook has iMessage signed in, so I can take calls and answer texts using my glasses with it. Then I go mobile soon. As I walk far enough away from my MacBook, it auto switches to my watch. This setup has been amazing. But these glasses are not flawless. The AI parts, they suck. They're a gimmick at best for now. It's actually garbage. It's basically completely worthless except for maybe asking it the time, right? Or you can tell Meta to take a picture or a video with your words and you can avoid the tap. But for information or anything useful, it's not useful. But I think that's more a problem with the cloud AI rather than the glasses. Because the glasses have all the hardware ingredients, the camera, the audio, the mic. I bet if you swapped out Meta AI for GPT-4o with vision, it would actually be great and actually help you solve problems like fixing a broken tap without needing to call someone else. That WhatsApp call thing, you can do it with an AI. I'm very sure that this is the format we'll interact with future AIs in. It's just too convenient, doesn't need to be carried here in your pin or like carried in your hand along with your phone. It's just too convenient. But it's not there yet. You can't buy this saying this is an AI device today. It's not there yet. But within the next 6 months to a year, I do expect an update that either allows you to use a different AI model like Gemini or GPT real time. But by that time, I'm very sure Google will come out with their own glasses and so will all the other brands, right? That's when these devices get a power spike. Now, another thing that sucks is Meta doesn't really have an app store for this. Right now, the only apps are Calm, Spotify, and Apple Music. And there's no developer access. I can't write code to access the camera or the microphone. The first company that builds an app store for a device like this, I'm not sure if it's going to be Meta, but whoever does that is going to win the next computing revolution. To me, it seems like the next computing revolution, although I can be wrong sometimes, right? But right now, the AI parts aren't really that important. Even without the AI parts, I'm surprised it was so good. But back to the point on my fact that this device is going to create a live streaming social network. However, before that, we have to speak about privacy. I've been thinking a lot about how to say this because it sounds very weird, and if you haven't experienced this, it sounds like I'm crazy. But let me tell you something, right? I've said for years that privacy is a myth or going to become a myth. And it certainly has kind of become a myth for me in some cases. I gained a lot of subscribers this year. And when I go out, I just assume I'm being recorded all the time. I don't know who's recording. I don't know who's taking a picture. I just have to be very careful, right? But I've stopped being careful. At first, when I used to go out, I used to dress better. But now I don't care much. Like, you can't be somebody else for too long, right? So I just said, screw it. I'm going to be who I am and people should see me as I am. And we have a lot of employees at work too. So it's not like, I spend the rest of my day when I'm not outside, hidden from everybody else. I spend most of my time at work. So for me, privacy doesn't exist except when I'm peeing, pooping, or maybe in my bedroom, right? Even my WhatsApp chats and Instagram DMs, my team sees. They have access to my main computer and phone. Obviously, it took me a lot of trust to get there, but also I've just assumed my life is going to be like that. Otherwise, work is too slow and I become the blocker. Now, for most of you, this might sound scary. This might sound like, what a crazy guy. What kind of trade-offs are this? But in today's world, if you think you'll be a creator and get to like X number of followers, this world that I'm living in 2024 is definitely a reality for you. So it's better not to mislead yourself with the wrong expectation. And to be very, very, very honest, between you and me, I think this has been net good for me. I've become the man I always wanted to be. That doesn't mean I don't make mistakes or don't have flaws. I'm still an idiot, right? But a camera has been the forcing function to make me more honest, more accepting of myself, and genuinely good, while still not being taken for a ride, right? I've learned how not to be taken for a ride. And I've learned to genuinely be good to everyone around me. The me from 3 years ago and now is so different. You can't even call them the same person, right? Like, the camera has been so powerful. To be very honest, most humans need this. The gap between our online life and our personal lives is like just widening, whereas for creators, most of the creators I know, it's not widening. The gap is closing because they're like, I'm online all the time, so I need to be the same person online and offline. It's hard to keep up like an act online, right? So we all need a forcing function to keep us honest and accountable, and a camera genuinely helps. The human brain is wired to be dishonest if you think you can't get caught. Absolute power corrupts, absolutely. And a camera, it never lets you get corrupt. It lets you be the person you always wanted to be, because sometimes you'll make a mistake and be like, why did I do that, right? And then the minute you have a camera, you don't make those mistakes, or less likelihood of you making those mistakes. And while even today, some of the audience can point out to my flaws and say, haha, idiot, I don't blame you. But over time, with full live streaming culture, you will also mature and realize everyone, including you, has flaws. The audience will mature, especially as you see through other people's eyes all the time. And for those that want privacy in the future, there's always an option. It's actually a very easy one. And if I hadn't become a creator or work in the AI plus content business, I'd 100% do it too. Just don't buy this. Quit social media. I've thought about it so many times. And when I say that, people think I'm belittling them or dismissing them or saying, oh, you're not good enough to be here. That's not true. It's genuinely the only way out of the madness online. But secretly, many of you want the madness. Talking about flaws, maybe I like the madness a little bit too. And I know most people who say content creators are bad, this, that, whatever, you also like a little bit of the madness. There are benefits too, like jobs and opportunities, right? So it's very hard to be completely sealed off unless you're like post money or something. Especially as it is now, social media is utterly toxic. It's just a war zone where everyone is like attacking everyone else's best moments. The best thing about these glasses, what I really love, it's not the AI features, not any of the other things, right? The best thing about these glasses is that they finally allow you to show the full picture of your life to somebody else. And vice versa. Somebody else can see the full picture of your life. Finally, an honest social media. Add on top of that the ability for many of us to lead more than one life through other people's lives. I want to, see how a chef cooks in some part of the world. I can do that. And in my personal opinion, social media anyway needed a change. I don't know if this live world is going to be better or worse. Nobody can tell that. But it is coming. This is going to be the change we asked for. Whether it will be a good one or a bad one, I don't know. I do think it's going to have a lot more empathy than the world we're in right now. And this device is the first glimpse. That's it for me. Make sure you subscribe. Bye.